A marathon session, 21 hours, and eventually no deal coming out of those discussions. I think really you need to read between the lines there. JD Vance did not give much away in that 4-minute speech before he then left Islamabad. But in that section, he said, we need to see an affirmative commitment that they will not seek a nuclear weapon. He then said, and they will not seek the tools that will enable them to quickly achieve a nuclear weapon. I think that word quickly is very important there, and that is because it sounds like one of the main stumbling blocks was Iran refusing to give up its stockpiled uranium, the enriched uranium that it already has. Now, Ali Gokali, who's a conservative analyst close to the Iranian government, has taken to social media and said that the talks fell apart because the US demanded zero enrichment, removal of that stockpiled uranium from Iran, and also because of the US, what he called the mismanagement of the security of the Strait of Hormuz on their own terms. So there are a couple of stumbling blocks there. It sounds, though, that there are very many different problems between the US and Iranian side there, and the Iranians are now taking to social media to give their version of events. Once again, one of their African embassies trolling the United States by going on Twitter and saying that the US flew their vice president halfway across the world to Islamabad. After 21 hours of talks, they demanded everything they couldn't achieve through war. Iran said a big no. The talks are over, the strait is still closed, and the vice president is flying home empty-handed. In the comment under that post, the Iranian embassy in Ghana then said they entered the room with a stopwatch. We sat down with a calendar. The outcome was never in doubt, suggesting then that Iran here is playing the long game. So what that means next is still to be seen. There are, of course, many moving parts here, whether the US will continue its strikes inside Iran, whether the Iranians will continue their strikes on their neighbors. Of course, Donald Trump says that the Iranians have been militarily defeated, but that, of course, is not true. They have been firing missiles up until the ceasefire deal and even after it was agreed. And then, of course, the other faction here is the Israelis as well, whether they will see an opening now to continue their bombing campaign. And, of course, their campaign in Lebanon is still ongoing as well.
Our Washington correspondent Fraser Jackson there.